In the lead up to the battle in 1051, when Edward was close to death, William, his son, went up to him and asked him who was going to take his place when he died. King Edward said that William would, but when he died in 1066, they found on his will that he wanted William not to become king, but Harold, his other son. When Harold was made king, William disputed this straight away and formed a Norman army of 7,000 troops, including archers and footmen. They travelled to Pevensey, and when they landed, moved to Hastings, and then the next day, on the 14th of October, they met Harold at Selnick Hill, and the battle began. Harold only had 6,000 troops, so William won quite easily, and the battle ended when Harold was shot in the eye with an arrow. When William won the battle, he marched into London and was made king there straight away. Things changed in England from then on because he was the first Norman king of England, after his Anglo-Saxon father and brother. When the Normandy language blended with the French, it created English. This was just one of the differences that being a Norman king made to England. Another difference was that the Norman way of leading was more disciplined, and that created more order in England. When did the battle take place? William met with Edward in 1051, but the actual battle took place on the 14th of October 1066, which was in the same year that Edward died, so the two sons fought each other not long after their dad had died. The battle only went for less than 24 hours, but over 10,000 soldiers were killed. Where did it take place? Most people believe that the battle was fought on Selkirk Hill, but there are a few people who think that the battle was fought on Caldbeck Hill. Both of these places are around the town of Hastings, and that is why it is called the Battle of Hastings. Who was involved in the battle? There were a few key people who were involved directly in the battle. William and Harold were the two main people, but also 7,000 Norman soldiers and 6,000 Anglo-Saxon soldiers fought the battle. Edward was also involved in the conflict between the two brothers, and then William's son was crowned king after William died. How did it affect life in England? This battle had quite a big impact in the way life in England was lived, because William was the first king from Normandy to become the King of England. Harold became king for a short while after Edward died, but then he was killed by William's Norman army and was the last Anglo-Saxon king of England. There are a few differences in the way that the Normans led England. One of them was that they were more disciplined, which made England a much better place to live in.